Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Well, Cheri and I are doing a introduction to the animals that guide us. And thank you, Lisa, for the Divine I Am group. Thank you very much for this opportunity to do this introduction to the animals that guide us. And animals are amazing and very helpful for us. They're our teachers, they're our healers, they are our guides, they are our catalysts, they are our bridges, and they can help us in so many ways. And so I know I'm excited for this, and we've got a lot of things planned for you today. So let me first start by introducing myself. My name is Julie Jean Bassett. I'm an animal communicator, an energy healer for both humans and animals, an intuitive, a channel, and a multidimensional medium. Cheri, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. Welcome, everyone. I see a lot of people popping up on the feed. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Cheri Michelle. I'm an animal communicator, pet medium, energy healer, intuitive reader, and you can find me at cherimichelle.com. We are so happy to be here to bring you a little bit of information and insight into our spirit animal guides. We have so many guides that are with us, and we will be getting into that. And later, Julie will talk about bringing in animals to call in for a specific purpose. For manifestation or whatever. And we will go into a meditation and see if you can meet your own animal spirit guide. So we are very happy you are here with us. So, okay. Anything else, Julie, before I pop in?
Well, I thought I'd just thank you for reminding me to give everyone my website. I'm on facebook.com/Julie Bassett 1111, or my website is www.juliejeanbassett.com.
Wonderful.
And so, Cheri, you want to talk to us about the totem animals and spirit animals and power animals?
Yes. Okay. We all have a lot of spirit guides which are protecting us, guiding us, supporting us, giving us encouragement and inspiration. And we have our pets who are in spirit that are always with us and guiding us. We also have totem animals and power animals as well. And sometimes these are all used interchangeably or kind of lumped together. But there are actually some slight differences. And so I'd kind of like to go into these differences so we can better tune into our own animal spirit guides. So the first one I'd like to talk about is totem animals. We've all heard the phrase totem animal. And a totem animal, if you think about like indigenous cultures, like Native Americans, the totem would be representative of the clan. It could be, it's also used like in sports groups. For example, you have the Cubs, or you have let's see, I have it written down here because I don't know sports very much. Oh, like the Philadelphia Eagles or the Chicago Bears, or we also have like the Lions Club. These would be like the totem animals, which represent the tribe, a clan, or it would represent the family you were born into. So a power, and even Christianity has the totems of the lamb and the fish. A totem could be like a stuffed animal. If a parent gave their stuffed animal a teddy bear and told the child that the teddy bear would be with them and protecting them, and that teddy bear would be representative of the child's totem, looking over them and protecting them. And let's see, anything else about totem animals? Yeah, a totem is basically a symbolic representation of your animal guide. So it could be like a totem pole, it could be a talisman, an emblem, a crest, statue, jewelry. And like I just mentioned, it could be a stuffed animal. And I got lots of information, so I want to make sure I don't miss anything out of this. Okay. All right. So, yeah, getting back to this teddy bear, when the parents give the child the teddy bear and the child believes that this teddy bear will protect them, it is their belief in this animal that is calling in the energy of bear. And it's not one particular bear. It's like bear with a capital B, the energy of the bear spirit of all of them and its associated powers. And so the bear becomes a personal totem for this child. And this animal spirit guide may remain with the child throughout his or her life. All right, so that kind of gives you an idea of a totem. And I'm like looking around my room right now. I have a lot of bird totems. I love birds. And so this kind of clues you in. If you look around your space, what kind of animals are you drawn to? Do you have a collection? Do you have a collection of flamingos? Do you have a collection of eagles? My nephew has eagles all over his apartment. So I love birds and bears. And I've got birds everywhere. Now that I look, I've got just as I'm on live, I got a bird calendar. I've got a little bird frame here, a picture. I've got a bird notebook. I've got a bird pen. I've just got birds everywhere. So I would consider birds to be a totem animal for me. I've also got, it's kind of bird. I've got an owl, and owls are very close to my heart as well. So look around your space and see what kind of decorations you have. Are you drawn to frogs? Are you drawn to owls or eagles or bears or whatever? That is also one clue that will let you know what possibly could be your totem animal. And it could be the opposite. It could be a totem animal could be an animal that you are definitely not drawn to, but you see they show up all over the place. For example, snakes. Let's say you have a fear of snakes, but for some reason you keep on running across snakes, and those snakes have medicine for you. What is it that you need to overcome in your life, or what is it of a snake? What kind of medicine do you need in your life, or how can you tune into your snakeness? Because all the animals are within us, and they have a lot of wisdom and knowledge to share. So there are some clues in the animals that we, don't care for as well. All right, so moving on to power animals. So power animals, rather than being associated with a family, a group, or a clan, they are more specific and personal for each individual. And of course, like totem animals, these guardian spirits empower us in our everyday lives. They protect and guide us as well. And power animals, you can imagine, let's say this particular indigenous group associate with the bear, okay? And maybe they have symbols of the bear. Well, the child may have an eagle as their power animal, and they are encouraged to be one with the eagle, become the eagle, invoke the eagle within their soul and spirit. So it's more personal to each individual, if that makes sense. So let's see. Power animals tend to be more permanent in nature and are with us throughout our life, through major periods, throughout our life, or throughout major periods in our life. I would even say that the animals, rather than we choose the animals, I think the animals choose us. So it's not something that we have control over. We can, let's say, yeah, I like birds, and I never really thought about it. I just thought, oh, I like birds, and so I'm just going to surround myself with birds, and that they're more of a totem animal. But these power animals are with us from birth, and they are guiding us and supporting us. They're teachers, they're healers, they're protectors, and message bringers. And it is believed by the indigenous people that we have 9 power animals. And there's a lot of information out there if you want to find out your 9. They come in different directions. Your north, south, west, east, above, below, within, without, and on both sides of us. So there are 9 power animals if you want to dive deeper into finding out your 9 power animals. Let's see. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So our power animals, there is no better animal than another. So your power animal could possibly be a weasel. Okay, let's just say it's a weasel. Oftentimes people is like, oh, a tiger. I want a tiger. Or I want a bear, or I want an eagle. And yeah, you can call in the energy of these animals, but it doesn't mean that they are your power animal. Your power animals they choose you. And so a weasel is just as strong and has just as potent medicine, healing, and messages and wisdom is what I mean by medicine. They have just as much to share with you and to teach you as an eagle does. So I would advise you for the meditation later, if a mouse comes up or if a hyena comes up, to not scoff, like, what, a hyena? Just accept and be open to what animal shows up for you. And so, for example, one of my power animals is a bear, and bear often shows up, and bear is all about introspection and diving deep and going within, find the inner wisdom, the answers within myself. Because for every question you have, there is an answer, and the answer is within each of us. And so that's what bear is teaching me with. And we know that bear goes into hibernation, for months at a time. And so it could be that I am like the bear, but it could also mean that I need to become more bear-like to help me grow and heal. So there are 2 sides of the coin. So when we go into the meditation, you can think about what medicine is that animal bringing to you personally. Are you like that animal, or do you need to incorporate some more of the healing that and wisdom that the animal has to share with you? All right. Hold on. Yeah. I've got lots of notes. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything, because there's just so much information out there and it gets really confusing. Even myself, I thought it was really clear, but the more I researched, it's like, the more I got confused, because a lot of people or a lot of groups just lump them all together, but they're really different. So another place I came across describes familiar animals, and I've never heard that term before, and I thought it was fascinating, so I would like to share it with you. A familiar animal. There are many kinds of animal guides, but a familiar is a living creature that bonds closely with a human counterpart and assists with metaphysical pursuits. So, for example, I think what this person is referring to in particular is our own animal that has transitioned and is in spirit form. So it could be the cat that rolls around the floor every time and one built on respect. Familiars are not simply pets, they are animal soulmates. And okay, so what I'm getting from this is our animals that we've had in our lives, yes, they are a spirit animal to us. However, an animal spirit guide. However, as I reflect on the animals I've had 5 dogs, on my own as an adult, 5 dogs. And of those 5 dogs, I was extremely close, very close to 2, and I would call them my soulmates. So, of course, the other animals in my life, they've all transitioned, they're all in spirit, and I can call in their energy and whenever I feel drawn to, and I feel their presence sometimes when I'm having a hard time or they have something to share. But among all those pets, there are 2 that I feel a deep connection. It's like I don't know where I'm ending and they are beginning, this really deep soul connection, so kind of like a soul mate in animal form. So this is what is referred to as a familiar spirit, but we would just refer to that as just one of our animal spirit guides. So let me see if there's anything else that helps clarify. Going through my notes. Okay, so of course, getting back to what an animal spirit guide is and how we can determine whether they're just, we know if they're one of our pets in spirit, whether they are a totem animal or a power animal. I guess we can look at our present moments, our past experiences, and our future endeavors. And we can also look at how they are affecting us energetically and what the differences are and how we are applying the lessons and energies and also the different processes of this. So animals that appear in our dreams, or appear in like TV shows again and again, it's like you're noticing an animal appear again and again, or coming up in conversations. It's just your spirit animal. And the spirit animal represents characteristics or abilities you currently have that you hope to develop or something you should start working toward. So, for example, if you the example of the bird, it could mean that you're ready to move, or perhaps you need to loosen up and become more liberated, like spread your wings. So in each situation, you can think about, okay, well, why is this animal showing up for me? And what message do they have for me? And I would even say that any animal that gets your attention, there is a message, but it could be just a general message. You open the door, you look outside, there's a sparrow, in a tree right in front of you. And it could be, it's just, an ordinary occurrence. And, but I would still say there's a message in that. You were drawn to look at that bird for a reason. Now, it depends on what if that sparrow was doing something strange. Let's say it was like, doing loops on the tree, which I can't imagine a bird doing, but just looping, going around. And then it's like, that is really weird behavior. What is going on with that bird? Or if you never see an animal in your neighborhood and then suddenly you see this animal out of the blue, it's like, what in the world? Then these messages are really personal. It's not a generic message, It's more personalized. Okay, you can stop and take notes. What is the message here? Is so bizarre. They're trying to get your attention and they have a personal message for you. So I would stop and kind of think about that. So, all right. So I think that is a general overview of just our animal spirit guides. I talked about the totem animals. It's an animal whose energy simply speaks to your spirit. And these totem animals are used for groups and families and clans, or animals that you just are drawn to, and you have you have a collection of them. A power animal is more personal, and in indigenous cultures, for example, the elders teach the children to become a tiger when they are hunting food, or become the otter when they need to be more playful, or become the hawk so they can have a better overall view of a situation and see things more clearly. So it's more personalized and incorporating the message, the medicine that particular animal has to share. Animal familiars are our soulmates, our animal soulmates that are in spirit most times, not only. And we can call on the medicine and the wisdom and the support of these animals whenever we are drawn to do so. And getting back to, let's see. Okay. All right. So I think I've kind of gone through. I talked about my spirit animal is two certain animals that my pets that we have like a soul connection. A totem animal for me are birds, especially crows. I love crows. My power animals, I have 9 and I did research them, and bear spirit is one of them. And I think Julie is going to talk about how to call in animals for specific purposes next. So, Julie, before that, do you have anything to add?
Actually, I do.
I would love to hear what you have to add about that.
Familiars, I think, actually started out with the witches, because the witches all had a familiar that would help guide them and protect them, and acted as teachers. And so, it was an integral part of a witch to have a familiar. And the people that have a familiar now used to be a witch in a previous life most of the time.
Oh, wow. That makes sense. Yeah. Especially with a lot of witches being attracted to crows, for example. But not only. Yeah. That's a great point. I didn't think about that. I was just, first time I heard the phrase just recently, is like, oh, I've heard totem animals and just, spirit animals and power animals, and came across this phrase, and yeah.
And, the delineation between totem animals and power animals and spirit animals is so subtle. I almost like the way that Melissa Alvarez depicts them as temporary and permanent, because some you have all your life, and others you just bring in when you need that energy, or if you're going through a difficult period, there might be an animal that comes in to support you during that one situation, and then when it's finished, they go away.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's these animals are amazing, and they can help us with so many things, like with manifestation. If you want to bring your ideas and visions into 3D reality, call in a beaver. If call in a brown bear or a grizzly bear when it's time to bring your dreams and plans into fruition. And when you're seeking a vision or inspiration that will lead you to your next step in the direction your life should take, call in a gazelle. So I know a lot of times I get questions about, you know, is my soulmate coming? Is my soulmate, when am I going to meet my soulmate? Well, an animal can help you find your soulmate too. When you're ready emotionally and spiritually for your soulmate and want to manifest that person, ask the swan to help you. When you found somebody that you're considering as a life partner and want to work towards courtship with that person, call in a cockatoo. And when you're just feeling lonely and are in need of companionship, call in a dog. So then we all have issues around money, or most of us do. So you can call in a kingfisher when you're worrying about money and how you're going to provide for yourself and your family. Or when you're worried about not having enough money to obtain the things you want and desire, call in a turtle. And when you're faced with financial woes and want to relax and think positively about the situation, call in a walrus. So that brings me to animals that can help us with anxiety and fear. We all have situations where we are anxious or have fear. So a bat is one of the ones that can help you with this. So call in a bat when you are feeling anxious or fearful without knowing why or what you're afraid of. And if you've been feeling tense and anxious and want to replace those emotions with calmness and a peace of mind, call in a kite. And then when you're feeling trapped and don't see a way out, call in the spider. And then if you want to bring some more joy into your life, call in a hummingbird. When you're feeling down and sullen and want to lighten up, have more fun and experience more joy, call in the hummingbird. And then animals that help us with self-care. If you're realizing that you've been immersed in a task or project and you've forgotten to take care of yourself, call in an octopus. And when you've outgrown some of your habits, patterns, and addictions and want to let them go, call in a tarantula. So those are just a few examples of how animals can help us. And the way I like to call them in is I will say that, either in meditation or prayer, I'll say, I need the support of a beaver to help me through bring my ideas and visions into 3D reality. Ask whatever animals that you want to call in and invoke that animal by setting the intention to work with that animal to resolve whatever issue or bring in whatever you want to bring in. Do you have anything to add to that, Cheri?
Yeah, I really love that. I really like the idea of turning to the animals for, additional insight and guidance and support. And they are just waiting for us to ask them. They are, for the most part, willing partners if we approach them with love and respect. They have a lot to share. And so as you were talking about the different animals, I was thinking a tarantula, and I was like, ooh, my first reaction. But each animal has medicine for us. And so they all have something to share. And so if you can get over that, it's like, oh yeah, I really need a little bit more self-care, or I need a little bit, focus. I need to focus a little bit more. My energy feels scattered. And what animal can help me, with with the issues I'm facing. And even if you don't know that a spider will help you with this, or a beaver will help you with this, you can sit quietly in meditation, and you never know who's going to show up. It could be a totem animal, it could be your power animal. So I suggest just, sitting quietly and thinking, okay, I have this issue on my mind, and is there some animal that can kind of support me at this time? And most certainly an animal will show up, in your mind, and just trust that that animal has, the answer and the support for you. So I just wanted to add that. I love all those animals. I've got to go back and like write them all down. Call it a tarantula. Oh,
Well, I've had a couple of ones that I really didn't care to have. There was one day I was coming home from running some errands or something, and I saw this thing on my doormat going into my apartment, and it was a snake. It was a huge snake.
oh my God.
It was a copperhead or water moccasin snake.
Oh no.
And I mean, it was probably 5 feet, 5 to 6 feet long. And I just kind of stopped and, okay, I'm just glad that I saw it coming home instead of going out, because it could have gotten into my apartment. But when I meditated on it, what was this snake here to show me? Because, whenever we see animals in nature, I mean, that could just be coincidence. I mean, I always see birds outside, so I don't really think too much of it unless they're doing something to get my attention. But that snake was telling me that I was shedding some old skin, old beliefs, and that I was basically transforming. And then the other day I had a hawk that came and sat on my balcony. And before I moved, I saw hawks all the time flying in the sky. And, whenever I go out driving, I would see my hawk. And that is one of my power animals. And I hadn't really seen too many of them since I moved. But then here this one shows up. He went for a bird and just landed on my patio, on the railing of my patio, and was just sitting there. And I was kind of looked at him. I wish I had my camera at the time, because I would have loved to take a picture of him.
Wow.
But then the other day I had some slugs on my patio, and there were a lot of them. A lot of them. And come to find out, I was leaking energy, and I needed to tighten that up and call all my energy back, and figure out where I was leaking energy and get that resolved. And then as soon as I noticed them and acknowledged them, the next day they were gone.
Wow, that's just amazing.
And I've been a teacher most of my life in some way, shape, or form, and so that's why a wolf is one of my power animals, because they are teachers and leaders and things like that. So, but we're going to take y'all through a meditation. And if you're going through any sort of, or having issues of any kind, think of a question you want to ask. And then we'll go through this meditation and see what animal wants to work with you. Now, it can be anything. Like I said, the slugs. I didn't really care for slugs. One of my friends had a mollusk come up as a power animal. And, you want something really snazzy, like a bear or eagle or something like that. But all animals have healing powers. Like an ant has a lot of healing power. And I personally don't care for ants. Spiders have a lot of healing power. I don't necessarily care for spiders, but as long as they stay on their side stay outside where they belong, I'm good with that. So it can be anything, even if it's not something that you would normally think of. I mean, it can also be something like mystical, like a griffin or a unicorn or a
phoenix, could be a dragon
phoenix.
as well.
Yeah. So there's a lot of mystical animals too that it could be. And so, go in this with an open mind, use all of your senses, make sure you are listening and hearing and seeing, because we all have intuition and can get information from spirit in a number of different ways. So go with a question or a situation you're trying to deal with. Think about it, and let's see what animal shows up for you. Anything to add to that, Cheri?
No, I'm really excited about this meditation. It's really a powerful one. So just set aside, your phone and get, find a place where you can sit down. If you're driving, then you can, always catch the replay. But get comfortable and really, with your whole heart and mind, just tune in and do this meditation. I'm really looking forward to it.
Can you hear this music I'm playing? Trying to get some calming music too.
Yeah, I can hear it. Sounds good. Yeah, sounds great.
Okay. And during this journey, you may or may not encounter an animal spirit guide that you expected. Or you might see multiple ones. Several animals might come show themselves to you. So keep that in mind. Jot down, once we're done, we'll give you a few minutes to jot things down. Because journal whatever comes to you. And then take it into meditation. And, what's really important, though, is to, when an animal comes to you, what does that animal mean to you? And before you go looking it up, because there's lots of books out there, lots of websites out there, or things where you can Google the animal and see what it means. But not everything will resonate, but, and we'll give you some resources towards the end. So, all right. Get in a comfortable position. Relax. Close your eyes if you are able to do so safely. If you're driving or have heavy machinery, working on heavy machinery or cooking, please do not do this. Please watch the replay. And let's take a couple of slow, deep breaths. In through the nose. Hold it for a few seconds. And then out through the mouth. Take another deep breath. And when you let it out, relax. Know that you are safe at all times. If you travel with a spirit animal or any other spiritual beings, call on them now to help you know that you're safe, loved, protected at all times. Another deep breath. Let your awareness track your breathing for the next few moments. Notice how relaxed and comfortable you feel now, letting go of all tension. Taking all the time in the world, allowing yourself to completely let go. Keep breathing. Now let your consciousness gently and gradually float down into the earth, into the lower world, dropping comfortably down into the earth, knowing all the while that you're completely safe and protected at all times. As you drop into the earth, notice the sensations in your body. Notice your breathing. Notice how relaxed you feel. Now as you descend, soon you'll come to a grassy area. Observe how you float down until you land gently on your feet in this meadow, feeling comfortable and safe. As you arrive, look around you and see what you see. Not too far away, a forest, and in the distance, the mountains. On the other side of the forest is the sea. Be aware of the colors. Notice any sounds you hear. Be aware of any smells. Feel the pleasant warmth of the sun on your skin. Perhaps you can feel a slight breeze. Now you have a choice of staying in this beautiful meadow or wandering about. Go ahead and make your choice, and if it means walking to another area, do so. Take your time. If you stay in the meadow, go ahead and be seated in a comfortable place. If you wander to the mountains, the forest, by the river in the forest, or to the beach, take a deep breath in your hand. Use all your senses. As you do, you notice an animal. You notice an animal spirit guide, and it's exactly the right one for the question you have in mind. It may or may not be your totem animal or parent animal. It may or may not be one that you saw in a dream or a vision, but you feel confident that this is the right one for your purpose. You're completely safe, protected at all times. This animal spirit guide comes up to you, very friendly and willing to help you out. You communicate your question telepathically with this spirit animal. After you've done so, observe everything that immediately follows. The information may come to you as a visual image, something you hear, feeling in your body, or a thought in your head. It may be cryptic or very direct and clear. No matter how it comes, just notice without trying to interpret. If something isn't clear, ask the spirit animal for further clarification. Take a few moments to pay attention to what is coming to you. Simply allow yourself to absorb the information. Once that feels complete, turn to your animal spirit guide and thank them in some way. Notice now that this animal spirit guide gives you a small gift. It's a symbol of this journey, a small token of this spirit guide's love and care for you. When it's offered and you receive it, first hold it to your heart. Close your eyes and take a couple of slow, easy breaths. Breathe it in. Notice how it feels. Your eyes, and once again, thank the spirit animal. Say your farewell to each other. Your animal spirit guide departs, and once again, you close your eyes. Now you feel yourself lifting up from the lower world, back into the middle world, back to where you started. Notice your breathing. You may want to wiggle your fingers and toes As you bring your awareness back into your body, take your time. Let your breath be relaxed and comfortable. Whenever you're ready, open your eyes and look around to your surroundings. This helps to orient you to present time and third dimensional reality. Once you're completely back, you may want to jot down some notes from this journey. So I encourage you to write down whatever happened. The messages you got from your animal spirit guide may be perfectly clear or somewhat cryptic and dreamlike. If it isn't clear, just let it work through you during the day or evening. Often other pieces begin to synchronistically come to you after doing this kind of journey. You can repeat this for any type of questions or concerns you have, and you'll get advice from the appropriate animal spirit guide.
That was really beautiful. Thank you, Julie. For our listeners, we would love to hear what animal or animals showed up for you. So if you could comment. And I'm just noticing all the comments so far. I'm just going to go through. Let's see. Well, one Facebook user says, I collect hippos. That is awesome. I love hippos.
Gina says, I see hawks every day.
Yes. Dacia says, I have a special connection to owls and bears. Yeah, I see hawks and crows flying around our house.
Somebody saw a butterfly. James Davis saw a butterfly today. Caught his eye.
Mariah, mine is in the sky flying most of the time I'm driving. One time I saw from the kitchen window, it landed and looked like an eagle, brown feathers with an orange beak. Wow.
So did anyone have an animal come to them while they were in meditation? We'd love to hear.
Yeah, it takes a little, with the lag in time. So I'm sure they are typing in their answers. While we wait for people to post, a seagull showed up for me. And when I go into meditation, I'm always in the same meadow. And one of my spirit animals is a deer, a female deer, and she's always at the edge of the woods. And so I saw her right away. And then when you mentioned the sea, I was flying across the forest towards the sea, and I was greeted by a whole swarm of seagulls. We were all as one, and we were all flying together, and I could smell the sea, and I could hear their cries, their singing. And at the end, one of them reached forward and handed me one of his feathers, his white feathers. And then I, came back, but it was so beautiful. And I loved being able to fly. And I got the message of just soaring above and looking at the higher perspective, and the small details don't really matter. And you can fly free from the constraints that you put on yourself. These are the messages that I got from flying with the seagull in that short amount of time. So I'm going to go back into meditation later and, fly with them a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Lisa got a Pegasus with a horn. Wow, that is wonderful, Lisa. So Lisa Huber. So what was the message for you? If you don't mind sharing the message. We would love to hear. And I think she's on with us now.
Yes. I just had the Pegasus show up, and it was just love. That's what I felt, love. I felt love. And protection. It's beautiful, and that was beautiful. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Cheri.
Yeah.
You're
Love
welcome.
you guys. I'm going to remove myself now, but that was beautiful.
We could all use a little bit of a little bit of love.
Yes,
I love that. That's really
it was
nice.
love and protection. That's what I felt. It was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, guys.
Let's see. Stacia said, I got interrupted, so I'm going to replay tonight. No problem at all for those replay watchers. Please be sure to comment. We would really love to hear what animal showed up for you. Mary Ann Merrill says, as I
that's
went
my
down.
mom and my friend and stepmom.
Is that right? That is awesome. A mosquito came to mind. I was greeted in the meadow with a red fox who presented me with a silver medallion. That is beautiful.
Let me see what. Fox is saying, trust your intuition and be wary of someone you're involved with who's attempting to trick you in some way. Your intelligence and ingenuity are more useful right now than confrontation and righteousness. It's better to remain in the background. Let's see. It's important at this time to break out of your social conditioning and express yourself more freely. Listen and hear, look and see, sense and feel. Trust your senses to guide you. You're faced with a seemingly unsurmountable problem. Oh, if a red fox. It's important to be flexible and adaptable, using the resources you have immediately available. You're faced with a seemingly insurmountable problem, and so far confronting it head on hasn't worked. And I'm just reading this out of Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen Farmer. Tact, diplomacy, and wisdom are called for. You find yourself in a situation that requires quick thinking and action.
Yeah.
If fox is your power animal, you're a night person, often are more productive and creative at night while others sleep. You're a keen observer, always watching others, noticing what's being said as well as what's not. And because of this, you can usually anticipate what's about to happen. You're an excellent parent or parental figure, very nurturing, protective, and conscientious. You're capable of blending into the environment and so as to be clearly invisible, and by adjusting your body language, vocal characteristics, and what you wear, others who know you may not recognize you at first. You're sometimes surprised everyone by coming up with obscure yet creative solutions to problems. Yeah, I think that's your power animal.
Yeah, that sounds like more of a power animal. It's interesting that hawks have just been showing up in the feed, so I really feel hawk spirit present with us. Hawk is a guiding vision. Spirit vision and guardianship surround you. Be patient and observe. You will see the opportunities. Signs are clear. And for a lot of people are mentioning hawks, so that really makes sense. And someone else mentioned eagle. Facebook user mentioned eagle. Eagle is healing visions. Spirit vision and healing surround you. Look at things from new perspective. Take a different path. Trust what you are becoming. And I'm just using Ted Andrews' Animal Speak Pocket Guide. There is a larger book, but I really like the smaller, digestible information that it provides. I love that. I always have animals in my meditations. My usual wolf and rabbit were there, and eagle was flying around first, though. That's great. So I would always recommend that you think, okay, why is the eagle showing up for me? And find your own answers and tune into your own inner wisdom. before you go, searching on the internet or looking it up, and always trust what you receive. And there are always, additional messages in books and on websites. Let's see. That's a book I use. Yeah, I love it. I have this one, Ted Andrews and Stephen Farmer. They're classics.
Yeah, I've got I've got the Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen Farmer. I've got the Book of Beasties by Sarah Bramford Seidelman. And I've got Animal Frequencies by Melissa Alvarez. Spirit Animal Guides by Chris Lucio. And then I've got a bunch of animal oracle cards and tarot cards too.
Electra says, I also have lots of cats in my garden. I see all day long. Cats that comes from her neighbor's garden to mine. I've heard that, so I'm feeling that cats are more of your totem animal. Power animals tend to not be pets, typical pets. So if you associate with a cat, it's more the cats, the wild nature of cat, what cat represents, and dogs as well. The dog, more than being a power animal, it would be a wolf or a coyote or something like that.
Yeah, more of a wild type animal.
Yeah. Let's see.
Now, a cat could also be your familiar too.
Yes, it could very well be. Yes. Let's see. So Electra says, hi, Julie and Cheri. I had some white gray bird in my garden, and I looked on Google, and it's dove. Okay, let's see what dove. Dove, of course, as we know, represents peace. A new cycle of opportunities is at hand. They bring a time of peace and prophecy. Mourn and release what has passed for new birth. That's for Electra. That's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people are saying birds, different kinds of birds. We've got the birds showing up in drones.
Now, something else that you can do if you don't have one of these books is you can Google it. You can say, what is the spiritual significance of a dove? And there'll be a lot of different options. But just look through it and see what resonates to you, because not all of it was going to resonate with you. But you'll feel it in your gut.
Yeah, that's true. And it's just like an oracle card. When you have a question you're holding in your heart and you pull a card, and then you notice some things on the card, that those are the things that have messages for you. But there's so much detail on a lot of cards, and the others just, are not as important in that moment. I have on live feeds, somebody has asked one question. I drew a card, and I could see what was standing out in the card, and another person had a different question, but ended up drawing the same card. But of course, the reply, the answer was very different. So the same thing with the animals. And when you do your own research, you just think in the moment, what is answering that question, and tune into your own inner wisdom.
Right.
Hi, Kathy. So nice of you to join us. Yeah. Mary Ann Merrill, thank you very much. And if anyone has any other animals that have been showing up for them recently, and you're curious about why they're showing up, or the deeper meaning, what messages they may have for you, you're welcome to post them in the comment box below. So I'm curious, Julie, when you did the meditation, were you actually connecting with an animal or just doing the meditation?
I was just reading the meditation.
I see. I guess it's hard to multitask, right?
Yes.
I'm probably just saying the words and like, feeling an animal around me.
Well, I've got lots of animals around
Yeah.
me, Is there anyone that didn't get something in their meditation and would like Cheri and I
Somebody. Yeah, let's see.
to see what we can see if we see an animal around you? Let us know in the chat.
Let's see. James said he was unable to meditate, so he will do the meditation later. Maria said she decided to stay in the meadow. She sat and was feeling the greens, and then it landed on my arm. So I'm assuming it's a bird because unless it's up above somewhere.
Or it could be like a grasshopper or something.
Said it landed on my arm. I didn't hear anything, just beautiful glowing colors as it landed. So I'm wondering what it was. Oh, and then Monica Curtis Basilla said I didn't see an animal. It seems I had trouble concentrating.
Okay.
So, Monica, if you would like me to draw a card, just let me know. If you're still here, just let me know, and I would be glad to do that. Okay, me. Yeah, Monica. Okay, I didn't see anything. So, all right. So I will draw you a card. Yes, please. Great. Thank you for confirming. Okay. Monica Curtis Basilla. Monica. Okay, and I see your photo there, Monica. Okay. What animal has a message for Monica Curtis Basilla in her best and highest good? What animal would like to come forth? And I see it right away. Wow. Okay. Armadillo is showing up for you, Monica. And I'm just feeling protection, protective coat of armor is what I'm hearing. So let's see. Armadillo. That's awesome. Yeah, this armadillo is so cool. Armadillo, yeah, means self-protection. Sensitivity and susceptibility to outside influences are increasing. So use discrimination and protect yourself. That is the message from the armadillo. And if you so desire, you can take armadillo into meditation and see what messages you are receiving, or you can just have a picture, look at a picture on Google, look up armadillo, and maybe put it on your screen, or save a picture, do a screenshot of it, and just keep the spirit of armadillo with you, and armadillo will help you with self-protection. Yeah. Okay.
I'm seeing Myra Vasquez.
Yeah. Yeah.
Immediately when I read something green hopping on you, I immediately got you had a grasshopper. And grasshoppers are all about courage and the willingness to take a leap forward. So there's something that you're thinking about, or are being pushed to do by spirit, and they want you to take that leap. And grasshopper's here to help you do that. So I hope that helps you, Myra.
Yeah, you are very welcome. Yeah. Monica, you're very welcome.
You're welcome, Monica.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that didn't get something that would like us to see what we can tap into?
Okay, let's check. Okay, I don't see anyone else right now, so okay, we may have gotten to everyone. So yes, it did help, Myra said. I saw something big with wings, but very colorful. Yeah, great. And Lisa is with us again.
I just want to say before you guys, whenever you guys are ready to, that I absolutely love and adore you two. And thank you so very much for taking the time to do this tonight. I mean, I learned a lot. If you guys ever have any questions on animals, for your pets at home, I highly recommend contacting them for a session because I've done that and they're absolutely wonderful. Oh, and their information is down in the video description or in the Facebook post above, but highly recommend. They're my go-to ladies for animal anything. Just thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
We
Lisa.
love you.
Love
Good
you,
luck,
Lisa.
All right. So in closing, I don't see any other questions. So in closing, like Julie mentioned before, it's very easy to do a Google search. You can write armadillos, spiritual meaning, and there are just so many websites that are just giving you information about different animals. Or you can buy Ted Andrews' book, Animal Speak Pocket Guide, or Stephen Farmer's Pocket Guide to Spirit Animals, or his thicker book as well. And I also find Diana Cooper has a lot of information as well. So I thank you all for joining us. And Julie, do you have anything else to add or say?
No, but like I said, these animals are here to help us. So use them. Ask them for help. If you don't know what animal to call on, just do this meditation and ask the question. Say, hey, look, I need help with this. Who wants to come up and help me with this? And take it into meditation. But they're here to help us. Like I said, they can be here temporary to help you through a situation, or like the grasshopper to take that leap forward, or like my slugs that were telling me I had an energy leak somewhere, and once I noticed them and acknowledged them, they were gone. And then others are here for a long time, since birth, and they're here to guide us and help us. Like the wolf has been with me forever, and because I've been a teacher in some form or fashion all my life, or all my adult life anyway.
Yeah.
So, use them. They're here to help us, and if you get something that you don't like, there's a reason for it. But every animal, whether it be a bug or a beetle or a eagle, all has very powerful medicine for us.
Yes, most definitely. Yes. So we thank you very much for joining us. And replay watchers, please feel free to post what animal came forth. We will be checking the comments and look forward to reading them. So thank you. Have a wonderful evening or day wherever you are. Much love. Sending much love to you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining.